I sit up, dropping my legs over the side of my bed and rub my eyes. My phone. Where's my phone? You haven't lost your phone, have you? Blindly, I grope around my bed for my phone as I continue to rub my eyes. I hope no one tried texting me while I was out cold. Luck has that no one did, but it looks like I did get an email. Is it for class? Almost definitely not. Oh, even better, it's from Roller. Oh, almost certainly not. At least that's what I think until I actually get to reading it. Stop butting in where you don't belong or you'll regret it. No nor jokes. How can he tell? What? All I'm doing is looking around. Oh, whatever. The username is No Nor Jokes, another fake blog. No more jokes. Yeah, very, very clever. Is that what that's supposed to mean? Are they saying they haven't been serious up until now? It's true they haven't messaged me all this time, but I didn't think they were just toying with me like this. Man, what a... I blocked the blog without replying and rise to my feet. Off toward my laptop. I haven't forgotten about that tracker I had installed on my blog. No siree. If it works then... I did. On the page listing all visitors to my blog, there's a new entry dated just a few seconds ago. That has to be the abductor. Thanks for your IP address, asshole. I copy the IP address, look up a few IP trackers on the internet, and then copy the address in each one. I think I see what's coming here. Now let's see what we find. It takes a few seconds for each one to process, but the results I find aren't too surprising. I was honestly already expecting something like this. Yeah, but it looks like the IP address is coming from school. Of course, I have no idea where and by who, but the small browser maps have marked the campus as the IP address's location. Which means it's very likely that the abductor is someone else who works here or attends here, in other words, a student. It was adding up to this. All three girls were students of the school, which always seemed too coincidental. What? Always seemed too coincidental? Who else did you think did it? Whatever. Maybe it was the victim from out of town. I'd think otherwise, but nope, it's like this abductor wants to be caught. They're making it way too easy. So I say, but that's pretty much the only thing I've figured out so far. I take a calming breath to try and settle my nerves. Don't freak out, Nicole. All this means is that you'll be extra careful while you're on campus. I have to stay in public as much as possible and take all the crowded routes and make sure I'm with someone at all times. Should have done that to begin with. Whatever. If the abductor thinks they got me scared, then they have another thing coming. As a matter of fact, I'm more pumped to get them than I ever was before. Yeah. No, because there's only a certain amount of time in which we can do it and that'll run out. Oh well. Alright, back to napping. Here's the happy music again. I'm still sad in the mirror. I am fucking flying with the amount of morale and energy, but apparently not. Alright, come on. We need to search more clues. You just gotta wait for another week to do it again. Why is it? It's not even doing anything at this point. At this point, it's just like, nope, you've done nothing. Yes, very cute. Should I even bother working? Oh yes, I'll work just because I can. More money! I'm a capitalist after all. Well, I'm in this game anyway. Right, come on, let's go back to full health and then sleep overnight and had a wonderful day of class. Aha! Ted normal ending unlocked. Damn it. I think I see what's coming here, don't you? Oh, well, as I said, we will go back and do it so we find out who the killer is. Don't freak out in the comments, alright? It's a really loud night tonight. People are crowding the streets, wandering from attraction to attraction. The buildings are lit up with paper lanterns of different colours. Balloons are tied up to lampposts. And there are streamers, flyers, you name it. This block party is really kicking, and the best part is all the food. There are so many food vendors that they actually had to put up a map of them all. And you got a stick of cotton candy, though. I have to try and watch my figure at least a little. We haven't, we've been to a restaurant once in our whole time. Once, twice, whatever. Unfortunately, I can't seem to enjoy it all. It only reminds me that we should have been hosting a booth, too. And that just reminds me of how bummed Ted must be right now. Honestly, I'm not too upset about the store. It's just the Ted I'm worrying about. Since we couldn't host a fundraiser, and the store is basically doomed to fall into debt, Rod decided that selling it sooner would be better. Though, really, I know the real reason he's so eager to sell it. Get rid of the store and he gets his son back. It's been a while since that day, and Ted seems resigned to the idea of selling the shop. I'd hoped that Mr. Starr talked to him after all this time, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't. And as the Stars would say, I bet my biscuits he will. This is not the time to start being humorous, Nicole. How can I tell? The fact that Ted didn't accept my invitation to even go to this block party. Thanks to him, I'm all by myself. But I know, see Super Crusher, it's okay. I was hoping to use this party as a way to cheer him up, but well, so much for that. Ted told me to stop coming to work a few days ago. What, you mean when I was at work? So I have no idea what's going on with him. I'm pretty sure the shop's going to be sold soon, so he must be taking care of that, I guess. This is a party, it's supposed to be happy, so cheer me up, me. I have to take my mind off Ted somehow. I see a shrewd musician rocking out an acoustic guitar nearby. Looks like I found a way to do it. There's already a small crowd around the guy. A couple of teenagers, parents holding hands of children with painted faces. It looks like he's getting on with a song just as I join in. The small crowd erupts in applause. Even though I just got there, I clap too. What? It's rude not to. Of course it would be. Walking up, everyone's clapping and you're just like, nope, entertain me more, monkey boy. The guitarist raises a hand to quiet down the audience and then immediately starts into his next song. It's a lively one, which gets some of the parents going with a few amazed oohs. It sounds strangely familiar. Is it modern? Yeah, this has to be a modern song because I'm so sure I've heard it recently. I catch myself nodding to the beat and tapping my foot when it hits me, like my muscle memory is just activated. This was a song that Ted and I danced to at the disco club. What, you mean that one song which you've already played at your house literally the other day? Oh, okay, just checking. It all comes swarming back. That way he gripped my hands as he held me in the frame, the sound of his voice as he whispered directions in my ear. I sigh a little, shivering. My body warms like he's standing right next to me, and I reflexively turn. He's going to be there. He's going to show up. Not now, but later. But he's not going to be there. Fine, I get it. I don't care if he's sad or whatever. I'm going to find him tonight, and I'm going to cheer him up, damn it. The guitarist is doing a really good job, but I turn on my heel to head out. I should have been watching where I was going because I run smack dab into someone else. Sorry, it's Ted. Oh, no, it's Ron, close enough. I steady myself onto my feet to my horror that some of my cotton candy has gotten stuck to this guy's dark blue police uniform. Yeah, see, police uniform? How'd you know I was thinking of getting something sweet? I see what he did there. Oh, the wit. Playfully, Ron pinches some of the stuff of his shirt and dabs it in his mouth. I just find it funny how it just kind of goes and dissolves in your mouth like that, like I'm really eating cotton, but no, I'm rambling, aren't I? And goodness I run into you, Nicole. You seen Ted anywhere? No, I tried inviting him out tonight, but he shot me down. I was about to call him to find out where he was, but I'm guessing if you don't know, he's not about to tell me. I tried calling that mobile phone of his, but it's off. I came home to an empty house tonight. I'm worried. I don't know what's going through that boy's mind. I figured that he came to the block party, but what if he ain't here? Well, there's only one way to find out. We'll have to go look for him. I pound my fist into the palm and grin, determined. What'd you say, Ron? Search party? Nah, why the heck not? This block party ain't too big. The two of us can cover it. Ron makes some hand signal I recognise from cop shows at the sign to spell. Hand signal I recognise from cop shows. It's almost definitely not a real one then, is it? Take that way, and I'll take this way, once you reach the end and call the other if you don't find him. Understand? I nod and do my best impression of a policeman's salute. Roger. Oh, but Nicole. Ron pulls a crumpled piece of paper out from his pocket and hands it to me. If you do find Ted, can you give this to him? I was planning on finally sitting down tonight, so I wrote my thoughts out to know what to say. I look at the piece of paper nervously. Can I read it? You've heard all about it, I told you over the phone, remember? About how much I hated that dang store? That's all it is. Maybe you want to be a little more subtle. But what if you find him? Won't you need it? Ron grips and taps the side of his head knowingly. I got it all stored up here in a trusty old noggin. Don't you worry, I'll remember what to say when it comes down to it. Let's get going. Ted's a grown boy, but I'm still his pa. Knowing he's out there by himself makes me antsy. And not me? You don't care about that? Oh, whatever. It's the same for me, so I pocket the paper and head out to go to look for Ted. Well, one of us is going to find him. I don't have much luck at the start. I ask around at booths and people walking by, but no one claims to have seen someone like Ted around. It makes me even more worried. Yeah, it's Ted, so it's like, what's the worst he can do, but you never know. I'm sure he'd find something drastic. I end up searching for a good half hour, and I eventually find my way near the tip of the park. It's mostly deserted here for obvious reasons. Why go here when a party's happening right nearby? I don't think wallowing in the dark is Ted's style either. No, if he is here, I must have gone too far. I have to go back, but first I call Ron to tell him the news. Oh, God. I'm not about to be abducted, am I? This is a terrible place to be. I'm searching through my phone book when a thought occurs to me. What if Ted went back there? Back to the store? It's on my side of the block party, so I can't ask Ron if he can go check. I hate running, though. No way around it. Groaning, I pick up the pace into a light jog and head into the colourful festivities of the block party. Strangely, I feel I'm heading back to work. I'd walk this park every day through the shop, and when I arrived, Ted would give me this brief nod before going back to work as usual. Please. Please, please, please be there waiting for me like you always were, Ted. When I reach the door slide open for me, even though it's still dark inside. That can't be a coincidence. Ted? I flinch as I hear something to the side, expecting it to be a burglar. Despite walking there for whatever. Jumpy at 9, ain't you? It's Ted. Unimpressed with my reaction, he comes slinking out from between the aisles, holding up some chains in his hands. How the hell did you find me here? Your dad. I hold up a finger, then bend over to catch my breath. Man, I really have to... We spent 2 months jogging! Whatever. Sorry, as I was saying, your dad found me at the block party, and he's looking for you. And he got back to your apartment? He said you weren't there. I don't even know I'd care. Ted throws up his arms into the air, rattling the chains. I can't believe him. He just gave up and sold the store like that. I don't want to talk to me when he doesn't even listen. Did you try to talk him out of it? You think I wouldn't? I promised I'd come with him some other way. Some way to make up for messing up so badly, but he wouldn't listen to me. He told me it was better to sell it, and he didn't even explain. I cautiously take a step closer to Ted. I don't want to scare him off. Ted, your dad was going to try and talk to you tonight. He told me that earlier. He doesn't need to. I know what he's going to say. I let him down. All this time, I've been doing my best to make him proud, and I let him down like that over some simple, stupid mistake on a form. I can't believe either myself, so I understand. But I have to show Pops I'm serious about this. He lifts up the chains, and it's only then I notice they're loosely wrapped around his waist. I'm going to show him how much his store means to me. I don't care what I do, but I won't leave this place without a fight. So, wait, you're going to chain yourself to the store? It's a form of a peaceful process, Nicole. Sheesh, I thought you would have known that. I figured tonight would be the night. Everyone's at the block party. More people would see me that way. My dad hears about it, comes running, sees how dedicated I am, then he'll change my mind. He has to. There's a desperation to Ted's voice that scares me. I know he cared about the store because of his parents, so... I hate to do this, but... Ted, no, you can't do that. Ted looks at me affronted. Who said you were the boss of me? I mean, it literally won't work. There's nothing you can do that make your dad change his mind. And you know this how? Heavily, I reach into my pocket and pull out the piece of paper Ron gave to me earlier. I read it while I was searching for Ted. It's just a bunch of notes and unorganized thoughts, but I think Ted should get it. Here, take this. Your dad wrote all of it for the talk he was going to have with you. You should get what he was going to say from that. Ted skeptically swipes the paper out of my hand and flicks it open with a finger. I let him take his time reading it. It's not that long, but I'm sure he's going to want to reread it a few times before to let it sink in. However, as it does, Ted's expression changes into something I hadn't expected. What the hell is this? Ted grits his teeth and he looks up at me, eyes blazing angrily. Oh no, what did I do? From the start, he never wanted this shop? What the hell was he doing all this time? Is he screwing with me? Ted crumples a piece of paper up into a ball and throws it across the room, bouncing it against the glass wall. What the hell is his problem? I hold my hands out to try and calm Ted down, but seriously, I don't think there's anything I can calm him down right now. Why are you so mad? Did you even read what your dad said? Oh, I've read it all right. He never wanted this store. He thinks I'm obsessed over it. If he thought that all this time, why didn't he say nothing? Why did he let me work so hard for something he never cared for? Your dad is just the kind of guy who has a hard time talking about stuff like that. I'm so tempted to add just like you, but I'm pretty sure Ted wouldn't appreciate that. That's no excuse. You don't go pull something like this over someone. It makes you feel like all this hard work, like it was just all a waste of time. Ted backs up into a wall and he slowly slides back down it, letting his chains unravel from his hands. You know, maybe it was all a waste of time. Maybe my pa didn't think I could do anything but run some dinky convenience store. Ted, don't think of it like that. Don't try and console me. Ted roars so loudly the convenience store must be filled with his voice. Don't talk to me like some loser. I'm not a loser. Or maybe I am. Ted drops his head and cradles it between his knees. His hands grab into his hair, desperate for something stable to hold on to. Maybe that's just how I am. I work hard and do my best, but it's not good enough. I'm just going to screw something up. Because you're only human. My voice is loud enough to grab Ted's attention from the linoleum floor. Slowly, he looks up at me like I've just spoken a revelation. Ted, I know you want to be perfect, but, like, that's impossible, you know? We're only humans. We're gonna make mistakes and there's nothing we can do about it. But that doesn't make us screw-ups or not worth anyone's time, even though you made a mistake. You know what your dad said? He told me he was still proud of you, and that he always has been. You've done so much, Ted. You worked so hard, and your heart is always in the right place. You inspired me to do my best too, so don't you say that you're not good enough, okay? You are good enough. You don't need to be perfect, and if your mum was still alive today, I'm sure she'd agree with me. Mama. Ted's voice is barely a whisper, and I can see him struggle to steady his quivering lip. He clenches his eyes and looks down at the floor for a moment, then he shakes his head. You're lying. He leaps to his feet, startling me, then starts forward right at me. You're lying. I don't believe you. You're only trying to make me feel better. Ted's blushing super hard and he points an accusing finger at me. Why is he being so defiant? I'm only trying to praise him. I'm not lying. I meant it. Everything. Gosh, what am I going to have to tell this idiot to get him to listen to me? Fine, you know what? I'll prove it to you. Ted scoffs like the very notion is impossible. Prove it to me, and just how are you going to... I close the gap between us and press my lips fleetingly against Ted's. We're close enough for me to feel his heart hammering from underneath his shirt, and I can only indulge in the softness of his touch as he suddenly pushes me away. Ted's eyes are wide and his expression is way past flustered and into mortified territory. His hands are shaking as he points to me now. What did you... What was that? I just proved that you were good enough, see? If you got me to fall for you, that has to prove you're something great, right? I blush a little and start laughing. Yeah, I totally just gave a smooth confession right here, but my heart must be feeling as fast as Ted's right now. Ted's face goes the reddest I've ever seen it as he shyly covers his lips with his hands. You? He keeps talking from behind his finger shield, like words would fail him otherwise. You really like me? Do I have to keep saying it? I'm crazy about you, Ted. I mean it. I sober up a little and look Ted right in his shaky eyes, so he knows I'm serious. So don't ever say that you're not good enough just because you're not perfect. You don't have to be. You're perfectly imperfect, but that must be why I like you so much. Ted keeps his hand clamped over his mouth as he uneasily glances to the side. Finally, he lowers it, and I watch his lips quiver as he struggles to remain cool. I guess if you wanted to be my girlfriend, I could do worse. His words make warmth blossom in my chest, and thinly veiled as they were, I giggle and coyly hold a finger to my lips, blushing. So, you're saying that you like me too? Ted takes a deep breath and nervously clears his throat. I'm not going to repeat this, so you better be listening now. I'm very fond of you, Nicole. You can say that, yes. I'm head over heels for you. I never thought I'd be saying this to anyone anytime soon, but being with you gives my life a spark. Ted hunches his shoulders and starts speaking from the corner of his mouth in a quick, quiet voice. So, go out with me, please. That's all I need to hear. I charge Ted and jump into his arms, laughing as he twirls me around some. Quickly, he sets me down on my feet and returns to normal as though remembering himself. Don't think I'm treating you any differently just because we're dating now. It's okay. Anytime I need something, I tap my lips. I'll just do what I did before. Don't talk about it so casually like that. Ted covers my mouth with his own hand, but it doesn't drown out the sound of me laughing from behind it. Eventually, Ted joins in quietly and the store fills with the sound of both of our voices. I hear another noise too, and I look through the glass walls to see fireworks exploding into the sky. The multicolored arrangements remind me of flowers. Wow, fireworks. They're so pretty. The party committee managed to scrounge up this much dough. Ted lets out a low whistle. Impressive. This really is something. And you wanted to ruin it by chaining yourself to the store like a crazy person? Yeah, but at least you were here to stop me, Nicole. I don't know what I would have done otherwise. Something I'd have regretted, no doubt. He warmly gazes at me and I return the sentiment, shrugging my shoulders as if to tell him not to worry about it. That was my first, I hear Ted grumble from under his breath. First kiss? Yes, okay, it was. Go ahead and laugh. I don't. Instead, I lightly nudge his shoulder. Mine too. Don't worry about it so much. I just never found anyone I felt anything for. But that reminds me, I should really call your dad and tell him I found you. He's super worried, no thanks to you. Yeah, I'll call him myself. Don't nag me, but... Ted scratches the side of his face bashfully. I was too surprised when we, kissed before, so I wasn't all there mentally. I look at Ted for a moment before I finally get what he's saying. I lower my eyelids and grin a cat's grin. Does someone want to kiss again? Huffing playfully, Ted brings his hand underneath my chin and tips it upwards. Just as he lowers his lips to meet mine, a pop of fireworks explode in the air, lighting up the night sky with colour. Shut up. I wonder why I can feel Ted's lips against my teeth until I'm really smiling. What? Okay. There's a special ending on top of that as well. I was just about to go into a conclusion. Right. I nearly burst through the doors of the class building the moment I'm done with my bio final. I'm free! I've officially completed the first college term ever. I'm so giddy that I want to jump up in the air, but there are too many people around to do that. I have to pretend I have at least some shame. None of my tests were even that hard. I'm feeling pretty good about all this. I can head out for Christmas break without worrying about my dumb grades. But I won't be heading back to California for a few days. For now, I'll just kick back and relax the best I can. Yeah, school's over for now, but I haven't forgot about that creep who claims to be after me. It's really weird. It's been so long since they last tried to contact me. I wonder what's up with that. So long? It was like 2 weeks. Whatever. I shouldn't get too comfortable. If they're really the abductor, they might be up to something as I speak. I groan loudly and start walking. Man, I need to chill out. I was just in the middle of saying how I was going to relax, and now I'm thinking about those abductions again. It's only when I see him sitting on a bench that my thoughts drift elsewhere. Ted leans back against the bench, a leg folded over the opposite thigh. I can see that he's reading something in his hands, but he takes his eyes off it every so often to scan the people walking past him. Is this why he asked what time my last final was going to be? I'm giddy again, but for a whole other reason. I hurry and skip closer to him. Ted! I wave to catch his attention, and the corner of his lips rise in a small smile. Looky here, I wasn't expecting you for another half an hour. Oh, surprised? What can I say? I must be a bio-genius. Cocky's never cute, but I'll make an exception for you. Grinning, I lean over to pick at his unsuspecting lips, catching him by surprise. Shucks, thanks. Ted glares back at me in embarrassment. I'm not sure whether it's because I copied his accent or because I kissed him. He's such an old man. Even though we're dating, there's no PDA ever for anything. At least warn a guy. Bet you're so cute when you get flustered like that. He huffs at my teasing, making me giggle. Mercifully, I take a seat beside him and peer over his shoulder at what he's reading. What you got there? It's a book of all the clubs available here on campus. I got it from the Student Services building. Ted angles the pages so I can get a better look. Wow, I didn't know a school had this many clubs. The names and descriptions endlessly line down the page with some action shots thrown in here and there for good measure. But the font's not even that big. Now that the shop's closing down, I'm going to be left with more free time than I'm used to, so I figured, heck, why not join a club? I could join a sports team too. The lacrosse team looks mighty interesting. Please don't join a sports team. Why is that? Because organised sports are gross. Plus, if you're joined, no one will be able to join with you. I hug Ted's arm and squeeze. If you really want to rock out with your jock out, at least make it an intramural club. I think most teams are co-ed. Ted stuns speechless for a few seconds before his words come out in his usual babbling mess. You joined a club with me? I wasn't thinking of forcing you or nothing. I hate it either, but I wasn't sure if it was kind of the thing you were into. Well, duh, I'm your girlfriend. I should at least try and be into what you're into. But you should join a really cool club or it's a no-go. I lean off Ted and jokingly cross my arms. Sorry, I don't make the rules here. Sour. Ted chuckles his head and shakes his head, looking more motivated than he was before. I'll come up with something, little Miss Piggy. I smile as Ted agrees, but then I jolt straight up in my seat. Oh, I nearly forgot. I set my bag beside me so I can get up my phone. I need to call my mum. I promised I'd tell her how the test went after I finished. Watch my bag, I'll be back in a sec. Sure. I didn't want to bother Ted with my conversation. It shouldn't take too long anyway. But when I try calling my mum, I get sent to her voicemail. I guess she's busy. I'll just leave a message. Hey mum, just calling to say the test went great and I guess that's it. Call me back when you get this. My phone surprises me by suddenly buzzing against my face and I hastily finish the message. Okay, bye, I love you. Was that a text from someone? No, it was another email and it's from Roller again. Whenever I see it's a Roller message, my stomach seizes on itself like a cave-in. I always wonder whether it's going to be another fake blog made by the abductor. And what do you know? It actually is this time. The username, Corning to Get You. At this point I'm way too jaded to be that scared, but that name is unsettling to read. The day has come, fight or flight. Will you make the first strike on the abandoned battlefield, or shall I? The day has come. I take everything I said back about not being too scared. I nearly dropped my phone about how bad my hands are shaking. December was when Erin was abducted last year. Are they going for the same schedule? I look down at my phone, rereading desperately. Will you make the first strike on the abandoned battlefield, or shall I? What do they mean, abandoned battlefield? Wait, do they mean that abandoned building? You mean that abandoned building, which we didn't get because the scenes didn't play out enough in time because Nicole only could do one thing a week? Sure. We went to an abandoned building, that's about as much as I know. I'm sure someone in the comments can feel you about that, if, you know, if you care enough. Is this a way to call me out? Are they so confident and they think they can mess with me like this? I swallow the anger rising in my throat and do all I can to control myself from running off. I don't know what's going on in their head, but they have made the biggest mistake of their life. I'm not going to let them get the better of me anymore. But wait, Ted's waiting for me out there. I glance over in his general direction. Part of me wants me to tell him about this, but I know I can't. I can't get him wrapped up in this mess too. I have to do as discreetly as possible. It's going to be hard to keep my cool in front of him. Ted's pretty perceptive when it comes to this stuff. If I'm the slightest bit off from my normal game, he's going to pick it up like a snap off my fingers. Hey look, they have a club for ballroom dancing. As he picks up on my return, Ted shows me a page of his brochure and points at a certain section. I'm a bit too frazzled at the moment to care, but I do my best to pretend. I'm sure I'd like it in any other circumstance. Oh yeah, that's cool, Ted. I grab my bag from the bench and stand awkwardly in place. You're going to have to say it eventually, Nicole. Keep it smooth. Sorry, but this is super short notice and something came up, and I have to go. I hold my breath as Ted responds with a furrowing of his brow. Right now? Is it something serious? Yeah, I'll tell you about it later, I promise. I just gotta go right now. Ted squints his eyes at me, and for a moment I think he's caught on. However, he seems to go back to reading about the school clubs. I won't hold you then. My chest clears of all that built-up anxiety. As a consolation, I kiss Ted on the cheek before hurrying off through campus out into town. He's going to follow me, I can see it. I head back to the abandoned building as I am. Bringing a weapon might have been a good idea, but it would have been troublesome if anyone saw me like that. Somehow this doesn't feel real. Am I doing this? For all I know, I'm rushing headfirst towards my death. But I'm already here, and just think, maybe I can get this guy all on my own. I can't be afraid. I've come this far. And I've figured out so much. Even if I haven't figured out all the pieces just yet, I can't back down. This is what I tell myself as I walk into the abandoned building. It's as quiet as it always is, with no signs of anyone nearby. Even so, on my guard, I stay on my guard and walk slowly. Anything can pop out when you least expect it. Especially with how dark it is in here. It's still afternoon, but it doesn't look like much light gets in here at all. Okay. Wait, I can hear something. I turn to look down a nearby hall, and something moves past the corner and into the shadows. I take off as an adrenaline rush comes over me, flooding out the fear that should have taken its place. That had to be the abductor. I can hear the noise more clearly now. It's like footsteps, but of someone running. I bet they don't realise they're leading me right to them. I imagine that's the plan. I keep chasing, zigging past corners until I hear something else. There's a girl screaming. Oh my god, did they manage to abduct someone else as well? I don't want to waste my time. I race towards the door. I can hear the screams and pull it wide open. Stop! But there's no one to stop. The room is empty, and hold on, I think I've been here before. Yes, this is that one room I investigated the last time I came here. Then where is the sound coming from? I check around, and the closer I get to the bed, the louder the screams get. I sweep a hand under the pillows, and out comes a portable MP3 player. Scowling, I press the stop button and shove the player back in frustration. What the heck is this supposed to be? The slam of the door behind me is all I need for an answer. I should have known it should have been obvious in retrospect. It's a trap. And I fell for it like a big fat idiot. This can't be happening. I grab the knob to try and turn it, but it sticks in place, no matter how much I pull and twist. Somebody help me! I bang on the door with both fists, rattling the door on its hinge. Get me out of here! Let me out, damn it! It doesn't matter how hard I hit or if I kick and scream, the door doesn't open. I try and try until my hands sting, but I eventually find my breath giving out. After one final thump with my fist, I slump against the door and slide down to my knees. I should have been more careful. What am I going to do now? Tiredly, I drop on my bottom and lean back against the wall next to the door, knees hugged to my chest. I can't do anything. I can't even call for help. There's no signal here. All I can do is sit on my useless butt. I bow my head in between my knees, feeling like I want to die. I don't know what's going to happen now. But there's a noise from the door, I think. No, that was definitely a noise from the door. I can see the knob shaking from this side. The abductor's trying to get in here. It has to be. I leap to my feet. This is my last chance. If I don't get him now. I press myself flat against the wall, and just as the door slowly swings out, creaking on its rusty hinges, all I have to do is go for the wrists. I let out a battle shout and leap blindly at the abductor from behind the door. Our limbs clash together, and I'm sure I've got a hold of their wrist, but suddenly their body twists, and in a flash I'm the one with the wrist hold against her back. Will you quit squirming around like that? It's me, you idiot! I go slack as I recognise Ted's wondrously familiar southern drawl. Ted? Ted lets go the moment I realise it's him. I can't believe it. It's really him. I don't even need to turn around to know. How are you here? How did you find this place? It was simple enough. As relieved as I am to see Ted right now, that feeling disappears as I notice how scarily seriously he looks. You're acting fishier than an aquarium back there at school. I thought something was up, so I followed you to this place. I get worried when I realised you weren't coming out anytime soon. I came in myself, and that's when I heard the ruckus coming from over here. That must have been me. Hold on, you were following me? Ted, that's totally not cool. Come off it, you're only saying that now because the shoe's on the other foot. Even though we're close, Ted points right at my chest. You were the one sneaking around first, like some sort of rat. What the heck is going on, Nicole? Don't tell me you locked yourself in this room now. No, of course, it's just complicated. I'm a smart guy, I'm sure I'll understand. But Ted, Nicole, for the love of... Explain, tell me what's going on. Ted grabs my shoulders and steadies me so he's looking at me directly at his face. It's obvious why he's pressing me so hard to tell. He's worried about me. Damn it, this is exactly what I didn't want to happen. It doesn't look like he's about to let go. I don't have much of a choice anymore, do I? Remember how I was looking into those disappearances earlier this term? It might be because I was scared I was going to be the next one abducted. It's a long story, but one day I started getting these weird messages on my blog. They told me I was going to be the next girl taken and that I should watch myself and stuff like that. So I started investigating on my own to fight back against this abductor. I nearly cracked their case and thought I was going to put the final nail in the coffin today. But I guess the only coffin I nailed was mine. Earlier, I got another message from the abductor. They sent me a message saying that if I didn't want to be taken, I'd have to get them first. I showed Ted the latest message I got that afternoon. Here, this is it. I got about 4 more before this, but I erased them. After Ted finishes reading, he takes a deep breath through his nose and exhales loudly. This has been going on for how long now? Since the start of the term? And I'm only hearing about this now? Ted's voice grows frighteningly louder than it was before. What the heck? Why are you getting so angry? Are you seriously asking me that? Of course I'm getting angry. You're telling me straight to my face that you've been dealing with this for months. Months! And you've never thought to mention it to me? I was seriously I cared, okay? And it's not like it involved you. I didn't want to drag you into this. That is a goddamn excuse and you know it. I back up and hit the wall as Ted advances on me. You're always like this, Nicole. From the moment I first met you, you've been absorbed in your own little world. I get it, sure, you're self-sufficient. Nicole does what Nicole wants and pardons to whoever decides to get in her way. But you can't keep going like that. You can't keep do everything by yourself, you hear me? And why the hell can't I? I swat Ted's hand off me and push him back. I've been fine up until now. I got all the clues and I was going to get them. I know I was. Wake up and smell the coffee. This isn't Nicole land. All you did was get yourself locked in this room. If I wasn't so concerned about you near all the time, who knows what would have happened to you? All I can do is purse my lips and try not to break down. He's right, and that's just so infuriatingly embarrassing. Ted takes another deep breath, appearing way too tense after all that yelling. I'm not asking you to rely on me for everything. All I want is for you to rely on me when you need it. He awkwardly rubs the side of my arm. How do you think it feels at knowing the girl you care about the most in the world can't even count on you when she's in trouble? I groan in exasperation. I don't know. You're right. Really right. I can't do this anymore. I uneasily exhale and start fiddling with my ponytail, unsure of what to say in this awkward atmosphere. I know that what I did was sucky, and I didn't mean to make you feel bad. I just didn't want to bother you. I didn't want to put you in danger too. I just got so caught up in the investigation, and I've been stressed out with everything, and it's been going on, and I was so scared, like 100% of the time, and I take a deep breath and collapse into Ted's chest, hugging him tightly. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Please don't hit me for this. I nestle my face deeper into Ted's body, and it feels like I'm hugging a board with how unresponsive he's being. He must be seriously mad at me. However, just when it looks like I'm not getting out of this one, I feel him wrap his arms back around me. A hand starts to stroke the back of my head softly. I'm not going to hate you for something this stupid. Ted gently pulls me off him so he can look me in the eyes again. His face is stern, but there's so much warmth in his eyes that my heart badumps in my chest. Just don't pull something like this again. You never know what will happen to you. I nod quickly, and I'm just relieved he's still here by my side. Alright, now that I've found you, we have to get going. We can't stay here. Ted takes me by the hand and pulls me out into the hall. We've got to call Pops and tell him about this. You might have to explain yourself all over again, but at least send out a search on this bastard. We'll get you somewhere safe, use what you know, and I'm sure that'll be enough to get him. Ted looks over his shoulder at me, apparently a bit flushed. I'll protect you from this perp no matter what, Nicole. I ain't letting him lay a hand on you while I'm here. Ted's remark is so sincere that I inexplicably end up sighing like a girl saved by some superhero. Even though he's just as methodical and organised as he always is, it's really admirable. I squeeze Ted's protective hand. You're such a knight. Shut up, you. Despite the situation, I end up giggling at his childish response. I'm cut short, though, by the sound of someone clapping. Ted and I come out into the wide hall. The cracked windows on the side are still able to stream in the light, and standing in the middle of all the rubble and moss is... Oh, it's you. Jeff, what are you doing here? Well, secretly, we all would have liked to have been someone else, wouldn't we? Secretly, we're all thinking in the back of our head, it's not going to be as obvious as Jeff, is it? But, I mean, there's a red herring and there's this. There's no mistaking it's Jeff. Clapping his hands slowly, he stops the moment he sees we've recognised him and wears a smile like he couldn't care less. You've done it, Nicole. Congratulations are in order. A proper escape, and now comes the time for the final confrontation against the villain, no? Jeff brings his hands up to his chest and slowly lowers them as if settling himself on display. Seriously, there's no time for this. Jeff, stop joking around and get going. I don't know how you got here, but hold on. Yeah. Nicole is really slow sometimes, isn't she? She's pathetically slow. It dawns on me, how would Jeff know about this place on his own? I wonder. She asked you a question before, why don't you answer it? Ted's voice is deathly low. He must have realised the same thing, and it doesn't seem like they came together, judging from his reaction. I already answered it, in a way. You two must have reached the same conclusion as well. I must be what I claim to be. I'm behind the abductions. I could even prove it. I called you here with my last message, did I not? And here we are, facing each other on the abandoned battlefield. At least, that's how it was supposed to be. Jeff glances at Ted, annoyed. I wasn't expecting Nicole Grave +1. Oh, sorry, I wasn't part of your plan. Ted keeps level, but I can tell he's just about ready to let loose on Jeff on the moment he sees an opening. I can't let him do that just yet. Why? I thought this abductor guy was some huge creep, but it's just been you. I don't get it. Why would you take all these girls like that? I simply needed to further my own gains, and I picked appropriate subjects I need to make it to happen. It's not like I heard them, nor were they much either. What gives you the right to say that? Yuli Cheers, you remember her? She was the girl you took last month. There were so many people worried sick about her. Someone like you wouldn't get the good she's done for this place. Jeff scoffs as if he's heard a bad joke. I'm sorry to be the one to inform you, but your crush was misplaced. Drop it, I didn't have a crush on her. I'll let you both in on a little secret. As you may have already guessed, after I abducted someone, I made sure to return to the spot where I found them. Yuli Cheers was already having the time of her underage life when I made her move. I barely needed the soporific I had prepared. Oh, I didn't see that coming. You see, I hadn't stripped an angel of her rings. I merely caged the rambunctious troublemaker hidden within. I made it a policy to only take those who, frankly put, deserved it. A kind, generous girl who turns out to have an excessive love for the party life. She was someone who was better off in confinement than the outside world. Hypocritical of me to say, surely, but you must agree. No, I don't agree with that at all. I can't say for sure if you're lying, so I won't waste my breath trying to defend her, but even what you say is true, that doesn't mean Yuli was a bad person. People ain't perfect, I've come to realise that now. The bad thing she did shouldn't outweigh the good she accomplished. You had no right to judge her on your own terms like that. What you did wasn't deserved by anyone. Jeff reels back like Ted's words are blows to the face. He's really got him in the ropes with that. However, Jeff soon regains his composure and is back to smiling crookedly. Something about him seems more off than usual, though. Well, it's no matter. What's done is done, and now that jig is up, as it were, it seems like I must make my move. Jeff takes a small ball with a string poking out the side. It's only when he shows off a lighter in his other hand that I realise the string is a fuse. You've won this bout, Nicole. It was entertaining to say the least. Before Ted or I have a chance to act, Jeff lights the ball up and throws it at us, filling the room with blue-coloured smoke. What the heck? It's one of them fireworks smoke bombs. Cover your mouth! I do as Ted tells me before he grabs me by my other hand and leads me back the way we came. I know this wasn't the plan, but we gotta catch him. Now that we know he's all behind this, so we can't let him go free. Shouldn't we be heading after him then? We won't be able to see nothing in that smoke. There has to be another way. We hurry down the halls, not sure what we're looking for. Eventually, though, we reach a forked path. Which way do we go, right or left? Ted's eyes take in both ways quickly. Let's split up here. Take the right and I'll take the left. What, but Ted? If we both take the same path and it leads to a dead end, then we've lost him. At least one of us has to find a way outside. I know you can take Jeff on your own if it comes to it. I trust you, Nicole. Really? Alright, fine. We'll do it your way. I poise myself with the right and get ready to take off. Be careful, Ted. Same to you. We both start running at the same time. This winding maze of halls puts me more on edge than I'm alone. Ted says he's counting on me, though. I have to make my way through somehow. It's a long, decrepit path after long, decrepit pathway. But it all feels familiar somehow. That's when I think back to that one night I explored this place. It was all too dark, so I couldn't get a good look, but I think I walked this way to the back entrance. Sure enough, I see it coming up ahead. I quicken my pace, pumping up my arms until I'm bursting into the outside air. Man, I really need to run more. I have to slow down a few paces to try and gather my breath, but the moment I get second wind, I'm off again to the front lot. There are voices coming from up here, and it sounds like they're fighting. Ted and Jeff. When I finally reach the front, I see them exchanging swings and kicks back and forth like they're in the middle of some sort of dance. Neither of them can get a clean hit in. With both of their speeds, it looks like it's a fight to see who wears out first. Finally, I get to give what you've had coming for the longest time. He aims a swing right at Jeff's chest, but Jeff evaded like a boxer and counters a jab of his own. I'm afraid you'll find it who you'll be getting for what's coming. I can't just stand here like this. Ted! Ted's nearly hit with a jab as he turns to look at me. Oh, you sneaky bastard. He loosens his jaw and rushes forward, pushing Jeff back with his offensive. You've done a lot of horrible things in our day, but threatening Nicole like that is the one thing I'll never forgive. Oh, really? And what will you be doing about that? Ted ducks under one of Jeff's swings and retaliates with a quick shove to Jeff's shoulders. It obviously doesn't hurt that much, but what it does is send Jeff back against the wall of a close-by stone wall. Jeff gasps in surprise as he meets it, seeing his chance. Ted pulls something off his belt and flicks a switch on it. Whoa, is that a stun gun? It certainly is, and before Jeff has a chance to recover, Ted jabs the electrified tips right into his neck, sending volts of electricity running up his spine. Jeff convulses in place, and taking his chance, Ted rears his free backhand and slugs Jeff right across the jaw, sending him back against the wall. The force is enough to send his eyes rolling to the back of his head, and Jeff quietly slides down the wall until he's lying limp on the ground like a rag doll. Never underestimate an officer's son. Oh my gosh, Ted, are you okay? Nicole, I run up to him as soon as I see the coast is clear. I thought Ted was going to get seriously hurt there. You shouldn't have yelled like that. He almost popped me one there. I know. Sorry, I was just really surprised. But you did it, Ted. You were so cool. I leap into Ted's arms and give him a hug. I must have taken him by surprise because I hear the stun gun go off in his hand. I hastily hop back a step and glare at Ted like he's judging me. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Blushing, he flicks the switch of his stun gun and sticks it back onto his belt. Never thought I'd get a chance to use this thing. Makes me feel like sort of a real cop. Do you just carry that thing around with you? I like late nights sometimes. It's a safety precaution. Ted grins a little and pats the stun gun on his hip. Besides, it's manlier than mace. After making sure that Jeff was both not dead and out cold, Ted called his dads to report in the situation. What are you saying just happened? Ted flinches back from his phone. Ouch, even I heard that, and Ted didn't put Ron on speaker. Needless to say, Ted's dad wasn't very happy to hear that we went and put ourselves in danger like that, but on the plus side, he did say it was impressive to have called Jeff on all our own. We kept watch over Jeff for about 20 minutes before we saw the first cop car pull up to the abandoned building. Soon there were even more cars, and the whole street was eventually blinking with red and blue. When Ron got there, he pulled us aside to give us an earful of his own. It's kind of funny, both he and Ted had these weird expressions on their face. Ted looks really tight-lipped and mortified, while Ron just babbled on, unsure of what to say. He must really not have had to lecture Ted that often, if they were both so unused to it like that. In the end, though, they both hugged each other. Then they pulled me in to make it a group deal. What a couple of sweethearts. But Ron had a job to do, and when Jeff finally recovered from all of those faults, Ron was the one to cuff him up and lead him to the police car. Ted and I had to go down to the station too for our official statements and all that, but by the time it was over and the chaos had died down to a mild roar, it was pretty late that night. Still, I couldn't help thinking that this is the beginning of the end. We caught Jeff. We actually solved the multiple disappearance mystery. Those are the words I drifted off to when I finally got the chance to sleep. It's been a few days since everything happened. The town still buzzes about the news, while the police are doing what they can to sort everything out. However, for the most part, it's been peaceful. Things are slowly turning back to normal. In fact, I'm on my way to work right now. There's that little ding as I step into the convenience store. I'm still surprised that's everything up. I thought Ted would have started cleaning by now. Speaking of him, hello, anyone here? There's no one behind the counter right now, and I doubt Ted would leave the store empty to sit in the back room. Nicole? Right behind me, I turn round, and there's Ted with an empty box in his arms. What are you doing here? I thought you were headed back home. And Mrs. Store's last day? I couldn't do that. There's been a change in plans, and I needed to rock out this hot uniform one last time before I left. I gesture at myself in the grey jumpsuit. I don't even have it rolled up like I usually do. That's mostly because of Ted. I figured he'd appreciate it if I wore it like it was supposed to be, though. At least one time in my time here. You can argue it's kind of late for that, but that's when I'd start ignoring you. Ted chuckles at me and places the empty boxes down by the door. Take your usual place then. I'm just getting ready to move out all the merch when the day's over. Oh, I can help you with that too. Ted eyes me suspiciously. Looking for more excuses to avoid your family? Whoa, you're sharp. I should have figured you'd catch on eventually. I saunter on over behind the counter so I can rest my elbows on top of it. My mum and dad are totally pissed at me for not saying anything sooner. I can relate. I lower my eyelids at him from across the counter. Not helping, so yeah, I kinda don't want to deal with that right now. They're not that mad. They said they'd ground me if I hadn't brought Jeff to justice. They're just being so smothering and annoying. Yeah, I can relate to that too. Pops used to watching me over more carefully, but I think we'll be fine eventually. Stop it. Stop what? I can't explain it. Whenever you talk about your dad, you always have this annoying look on your face. You two are way too close. I hate you guys. Don't be jealous. I'm so jealous. I wish I was that close to my dad. You should start by not avoiding him then. Okay, we're done talking about parents now. I hastily end the subject and start rubbing my hands over the countertop, trying to commit every last inch to a tactile memory. I'm going to miss everything, believe it or not. I spent a lot of time here. Playfully, I open the cash register and giggle at the noise it makes. Like, who knows when I'll be able to hear that again? Well, all you have to do is find a new cashier job. Problem solved. But it won't be this register. That's the thing. I just have tons of memories from this place. Even if nearly all of them are working together with you. That might be the one thing I'll miss the most. My voice goes a little quiet as I wait to see how Ted reacts. Was that too much to say? Should I have kept quiet? I'll miss all of that too. Ted lets out a haggard chuckle as he rubs the back of his head. If I'm being honest, I've been trying my hardest not to think about it. This store was the most important thing to me. So now that it's closing down, I was worried it'd take a little part of me with it. But it's better this way. I've let that all go, and now I can focus on other important things in my life. Like school, finding a job, taking care of my pa. And you, Nicole. The way I see it, losing the store is a fair exchange for finding you. The atmosphere between us changes as Ted approaches me. Eventually, making his way behind the counter, I look at him, unsure about what he's about to do, and suddenly I find his hands in mine. He jerks me forward so I collide with his chest. Whoa, hey! I'm really going to miss you over the break, you know that. I've been doing my best to be the mature one here, but damn. Ted has his hands in his pockets, has his hands locked around my waist pockets, and I carefully perch mine on his chest as I smirk at him. I guess it's finally my turn to be the mature one. Shut up. I'm grinning as he kisses me, unbelievably happy that I'm in his arms like I am now. I know that coming to this school led me being a target for Jeff, but it's like Ted said, it's a fair exchange for finding him. Eventually, the two of us part from the kiss, grinning like idiots with swollen lips. Isn't there some sort of ethical code against inter-workplace romance? That's the last day, it's all I figure we can let some things slide. Ted grins at me as he walks from behind the counter back into the aisles. But still, no slacking, you gotta do it right from start to finish. Yes, boss? I smile as I straighten out my uniform, trying to take from Ted's example. Doing things right from the start to finish? Yeah, I think I've got a good job of that so far. There, ladies and gentlemen, Nicole, the end. The longest series I've ever done. We now know who the killer is. We now know what happens if you romance Ted. If you'd like to see any of the other romances, which unfortunately I won't be doing, the link to buy this game is in the description below if you want to try it out beforehand, in case, you know, a 40-part game wasn't enough. Then, here's also a demo for it. Until then, my name's been Tenarium. If you aren't already subscribed, well, please do so. And goodbye.